Good morning, all. Good morning. Hope you've had your coffee and you're ready to go. Mr. G certainly has. And he's definitely going to need it today because this is a bit of a tricky one, this lesson. I had to do a couple of takes because it's a bit hard to explain. So I'm guessing there may be some people sort of sitting there thinking, oh dear, how do I start this lesson? How do I do this lesson? So we'll really talk through this bit by bit. What we're looking at today is a traditional Asian story, which we'll be looking at today and tomorrow. But in particular for today, we're going to focus on the direct speech part. Okay, so you'll have this in front of you here. You'll also have this booklet. And we're going to focus on all the direct speech aspects of that. And that's tomorrow's lesson. So just two things, the booklet and the lesson plan. So let's read through the lesson plan first of all. So we're looking at a story called The Tiger, the Rabbit and Chung Ho. So I'll see how I go. I'm going to try and edit this video and put this video in so that you can watch it on YouTube. We'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed.
Long ago, a weary traveller named Chung Ho was cutting through a deep ravine when he heard a strange voice. "Help me! Help me! Please somebody take pity on me!" The traveller, being a kind and gentle man, hurried to the sound. Pausing at a clearing, Chung Ho looked down. A tiger peered up at him from the depths of a deep pit. "Wise friend, would you please help me get out of this trap?" begged the tiger. "Oh no, my friend, I won't help you, for if I did, you would eat me alive," stated the cautious traveller. "With my hand on my heart, I swear 1,000 oaths that I will not hurt you. In fact, forever shall I serve you as your slave if you free me from this death trap." With that, the tiger sobbed and wept some more. Chung Ho, not liking to see any of God's creatures suffer, felt sorry for the tiger. Just to make sure, he made the tiger promise once again not to eat him if he helped him out. With that done, the kind man crouched down, and with great difficulty pulled the tiger up out of the pit with a long stick. But no sooner had the tiger surfaced that he began pacing hungrily around poor Chung Ho. "I don't have to honour my promise to you, as the trap was made by man," the tiger muttered. "I have a right to eat you. Besides, I'm terribly hungry. I'll eat you this minute," he snarled, licking his lips. Chung Ho pleaded for his life, reminding the tiger of his promise. After much negotiation, the two struck a deal. They would ask the first 3 things they encountered to decide what should happen. They first asked the persimmon tree what they should do. "After all that man has done to me, ripping off my branches and twigs for wood for his fires, when all along I gave him shade and fruit, you deserve to be eaten," replied the persimmon tree angrily. "One down," murmured the tiger. Next they met a buffalo ploughing the field and asked for his opinion. The buffalo pondered the case for a moment. "I work long years tilling the soil for man, and how does he repay me? He slaughters me when I'm too old to work. I see nothing wrong with the tiger eating you," he snorted, swishing his tail in disgust. "Two down," said the tiger gleefully. Now really shaken with fear, Chung Ho caught sight of a rabbit bounding across the field. "Rabbit, come here and settle this for us. You are my last hope." Chung Ho explained his problem. Meanwhile, the pacing tiger was watching closely. The rabbit, however, looked confused and asked Chung Ho to explain what had happened again. The traveller explained the whole story again. "I am sorry," said the rabbit. "I just don't get what you are telling me, nor do I believe what happened. Now, if we could just go to where this story took place, maybe then I will understand and be a good judge," responded the rabbit. So all three, the tiger, the rabbit, and Chung Ho, returned to the pit where the tiger had been trapped. "Now, let's get this straight so my poor brain can understand," said the rabbit, standing over the pit. "Who was in the pit?" "I was, you foolish rabbit!" exclaimed the impatient tiger. "Now I'm extremely hungry. I'm going to sharpen my teeth and claws, and after that I'll eat you both." "Oh dear sir, just one moment while my slow wits come good," responded the rabbit politely. "You, dear tiger, were in the pit, and, would you be so kind as to show me how you were in there?" "Like this," yelled the frustrated tiger, leaping into the pit. "Now do you understand, you stupid rabbit? I was in here like this, and this man came along." The rabbit and Chung Ho peered down at him in the pit. "Quiet," said the rabbit. With that, Chung Ho and the rabbit wandered off very, very happily.
So you would have either heard that being read, or if not, what you can do now, what you can do anyway, is go to your booklet and read over that. There's 25 short paragraphs. So I'll give you a chance to just sit by yourself and have a read over that. Pause the video and off you go. What you can do next now is finish off the table. 2 words that describe each character. Chung Ho has already been done. Pause the video and do that. Now let's jump into direct speech. Remember that direct speech is the exact words said by a character. So everything that the character says is shown by being inside the quotation marks. Then there's usually a speaking verb after, sometimes before and sometimes not at all. But generally we try to include our saying verbs at the end, and that doesn't go in the direct speech marks. So we're going to read through some of the direct speech in this story. I don't want you to worry too much about this, but if you can, if you've got some different colors, when you do the next part, I want you to underline the tiger in orange, Chung Ho in red, the persimmon tree in yellow, the buffalo in green, and the rabbit in brown. Only if you've got those colors. If not, a pencil is fine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through this part, okay? And it's a bit of a guided reading part. So this is what I meant yesterday when I said we're connecting the reading and the English part together. So it's a guided reading and a writing. So you don't actually have to do a reading activity after this. So it says here, read paragraph 1, which we've done, underline the words the tiger said. So we're going to go through and underline all the direct speech. If you look here, back on the lesson plan, in this yellow box, have a look there, you can see that they have underlined the direct speech there and there. It is everything that is inside these quotation marks, okay? They have also gone and circled the saying verb in the same colour that they wanted each character to be. So I want you to go through there and I want you to underline the words that the tiger said in orange if you can. Off you go. Next, next. That was Mr. Fisher distracting me, trying to be silly. Next, I want you to read that part there, and I want you to again underline all of the direct speech in the correct color. Okay? And then I want you to do the same here. So don't read too much into this yet. I just want you to go through each of these parts, paragraph 4, 5, 6, and so on, and I want you to underline all of the direct speech using those colors, okay? So pause the video and do that for me. Off you go. Now, the next thing I want you to do is write 2 noun groups in this paragraph which describe Chung Ho. So if you look, long ago, a weary traveller named Chung Ho, we could put in some describing words there to describe him. So we could put Chung Ho, who was, and then if I borrow these ones here, kind and thoughtful. They are 2 describing words and they make a noun group. Or you could put them before Chung Ho. So you could put the kind and thoughtful Chung Ho. That creates the noun group because you got the head noun, which is Chung Ho, the describing words, which is kind and thoughtful. So go ahead and think of noun groups for Chung Ho. Off you go. Now the next thing is write a sentence to explain the problem that was introduced in the paragraph. So reread that paragraph and write a sentence to explain how the problem was introduced. Off you go. Now, next thing it says, circle the verbs used by the author to explain the actions and the dialogue. So these are the saying verbs. So remember here, when they circle begged, we're going to go through and circle all the saying verbs. So I don't believe there's any here. No, there's no saying verbs there. But here, there is a saying verb, begged. So you need to circle begged, and because it's the tiger that's begging, if you can, do it in orange. Then you're going to go through the rest of the story and circle all the saying verbs. Okay? Off you go. Now, once you've done that, I want you to do this question here, which says, what do these verbs tell you about the tiger? So if they're using words like begged, what does that tell you about the tiger? Okay, so answer that question by using the question in the answer. So say, these verbs tell you that the tiger is what? Okay, so finish that off for me. Okay, so we've done direct speech. We've done the saying verbs. Okay. And 10 says choose one character from and write a sentence in your English book using join letters to you've learned from direct speech. Okay, so we've essentially done 10 as well in this question here. So if we look at the next part, it says write a sentence to explain why the author used the noun group the cautious traveller. So you can answer this question here for paragraph 3. Now, you don't have to worry. All of those things here, where it says circle the verbs, you don't have to worry about because we've circled the saying verbs. That's all we had to worry about. All right? But you can answer this one here. Write a sentence to actually, sorry, that says verb groups. So what I want you to do now is circle any verb groups in that passage and then write a sentence about how they are used to tell you about the tiger. And then you can finish off there. That's all you need to do because we're going to do pronouns tomorrow. So if you look at tomorrow's lesson, it says text connectives and pronouns. All right. So you do not have to finish, you do not have to finish all of this today as long as you have circled the verbs and the verb groups, the saying verbs, and underline the direct speech. And as long as you've answered up to here on the right hand side, that's all you need to do today. We'll do some more work on that tomorrow. So it is a big booklet, but don't let it overwhelm you. We're going to be breaking it up into different parts. Now, I hope that has been a help. If not, just work through this, but go up to number 4, okay? And just do it bit by bit. All right, but hopefully that should have given you a bit of a hand with that lesson there. Close this all down. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in maths.